Hi, everybody. Welcome to Marty Time TV. I am Marty Caswell, and I like to start off by saying that this show is brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. There is no one person that makes me happier when I'm at Padres spring training than seeing ESPN's Tim Kurkjian. I missed out on seeing him this year. Normally, when I spy on him, he's in his basketball shorts talking with AJ Preller, also in his basketball shorts, probably about the hoops, but no Kurkjian, but he is great to join us today. Tim, how the heck are you?
I'm well, Marty, and those are not basketball shorts I'm wearing. Those are like golf shorts that I'm wearing. But it doesn't matter anymore. At my age, I'm going to look terrible in all shorts.
Those are basketball shorts. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Well, Tim, I'm bummed I didn't get to go ahead and see you, but I enjoy watching your work, of course, on Sunday Night Baseball and the ESPN crew. So it's great to have you here. Did you ever think, though, and I know you spent maybe half a day in Peoria, that we'd be talking about the San Diego Padres on April 14th with the best record in baseball?
Yeah, I thought it was possible. I thought going into this season there were 6, maybe 7 National League teams that were potentially elite, and the Padres were one of them. Now, did I expect 13-3? Did I expect 6 shutouts after 16 games? No, I didn't. Did I expect them to shut out the Rockies 3 straight games and sweep a series? That hadn't happened by any team since 2017. But all you have to do is look at their pitching, especially in the bullpen, and those top 2 starters. My goodness, that is really dominating stuff. And then you combine that with an offense that should be really, really good. So I picked the Dodgers to win the division, as did everyone else. But I looked at the Padres and said, very dangerous team. If they get hot, they can beat anyone, and that's exactly what's happened so far.
Very dangerous team instead, and indeed. And you're talking about their stars, right? Of course, Fernando Tatis is helping Manny Machado. Jackson Merrill was outstanding last season, but they're being tested early. Merrill is out with a hamstring injury, low grade for who knows. He had a similar one in Double-A, missed I think 23 days. Jake Cronenworth is out as well with an injury, so he's out for some time. I wasn't expecting that the Padres would sweep the Rockies, be undefeated at home, but yesterday's heroes, in addition to Michael King, Yuri Gurriel, Jose Iglesias, and Oscar Gonzalez. So
yeah, but Marty, as you know, you have to have depth in today's game because guys get hurt all the time, and it's not just starting pitchers, it's bullpen guys, and it's everyday players. They get hurt more often than ever. As always, we got 3 leagues in the major leagues: the AL, the NL, and the IL. And the Padres have really been hurt by injuries, yet the depth of the team has been absolutely critical so far. Now, how long can the bench players carry the load for? That's a hard thing to ask. But when you have at least major leaguers who are filling in, Yuli Gurriel, Iglesias, these guys are good players, and they're not everyday players, but they're helping out an awful lot. That's what good teams do. Somebody gets hurt, somebody gets plugged in.
You mentioned that the Dodgers, everyone picked the Dodgers because, they won the World Series last year, returning champs. They spent a ton of money in the offseason. Are you buying, though, the other surprise team in the NL West, and that would be the San Francisco Giants? Bob Melvin is back, but a new guy in charge in baseball ops in Buster Posey.
Yes, I got a good look at the Giants this spring, and I left thinking, I don't know if they're a playoff team in a loaded National League, but they're much better. They're going to be much better this year because remember, all sorts of things went wrong last year. Injuries early, including to the young center fielder who had 2 home runs yesterday. But their starting pitching has a chance to be really, really good. Now, I'm not suggesting they're better than the Padres or the Dodgers or the Diamondbacks in the loaded National League West.
Yes,
but they're going to be much better than last year, and I give them a chance certainly to make the playoffs because they learned their lesson, and getting Willy Adames to play shortstop every day was a critical thing, and he hasn't even produced yet. But wait till he starts to hit, great team leader, that type of thing. So the point is with the Padres, they have to keep playing well if they're going to make the playoffs in a division with 3 other teams that are very good.
It's one thing to go ahead and sweep the Colorado Rockies. I mean, I shouldn't say that because last year, those same Rockies came into Petco Park and embarrassed the Padres, outplayed them, swept them. That to me was like the low turning point for this Padres season. And the Chicago Cubs, who took 2 out of 3 on that last weekend, that to me is a tough test for them. That's a very good team in Chicago.
Yes. There are a lot of good teams out there, Marty. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the early season, preseason, and I thought maybe the 6 best teams in the game were all in the National League. And I repeat, I see 7 of them that have a chance to be really, really good. The Braves, of course, one of those 7. They're the only team that's off to a terrible start. They've got to turn this around quickly. But, the National League West teams have to be looking at the Braves and going, well, if they don't turn it around quickly, there's a chance that 3 teams 3 teams from the National League West make the playoffs.
I can't believe I'm talking about this already on April 14th, and you're talking with the Braves and they need to go ahead and turn it around. But if they don't, what players on that team do you think are most likely to be plucked off come trade deadline?
Well, I refuse to believe that the Braves will be outed at the trade deadline. They're going to get Ronald Acuna Jr. back, even though that knee is still a little balky. They're going to get Spencer Strider back. They could not have played any worse up until this point. I have to think that they're going to be a quality team by the end of August or end of July, and I don't see them trading off. Too many of their players are signed long-term, and I just think they're going to look at their club and say, we're going to win with this team, we're going to lose with this team. I don't expect significant changes there because they have to win with what they have.
Tim, I promise to go ahead and keep this short. And again, thank you so much for joining me. I know Mondays are always busy. By the way, we just had an earthquake here in San Diego moments before you joined. So I'm telling you right now, I am, no pun intended, I am rattled. I mean, I live in Pacific Beach, surrounded by glass. Everything was shaking. Floor is shaking. I mean, I'm just like, oh my goodness. Have you ever been through an earthquake before?
Oh, yeah. I was at the 89 World Series in San Francisco.
Oh, my goodness.
I will never forget that as long as I live. That thing lasted about 15 seconds. It seemed like it lasted 15 minutes. I'd never been in an earthquake in my life. And after being through that, I never want to be in an earthquake again. I hope you're okay. Just try to calm down. These things are not easy.
I talk fast as it is. And after that earthquake, I am discombobulated. I had to go ahead and check and see, what broke? Where do I go hide next time? Is there going to be an aftershock? So I'm sorry. I'm a little bit scattered today, Tim. One more thing. What surprises you most about this baseball season at this point?
Well, it's the surprise is that there have been so many surprises. Some of the strangest things I've ever seen have already happened. I covered a game in New York where the Yankees became the first team in Major League history where the first 3 batters of the game hit home runs on only 3 pitches total. And in that same game, the Yankees became the first team ever to hit 7 home runs in the first 3 innings of a game. They hit more homers through 7 games than any team in history. There have been about 25 things that have already happened this year that are like a first in Major League history. I have slapped my forehead at least 3 dozen times this spring going, what is going on here? But this is why baseball is the best. Just when you think you understand how things are going to work, you realize baseball is too good to be predicted. And all these wild, wacky, crazy things that have been happening every day.
Tim, I promise to make it short. I have to give you one more question just because of how we started the conversation on AJ Preller. When you guys play hoops, who does more trash talking?
Oh, I don't trash talk when I'm around AJ Preller. No chance, because he is going to kill me anyway. And if I anger him, and it doesn't take much to anger him or make him even more competitive on the basketball court.
Really?
So I never talk trash with anyone. I'm 5'5". I weigh 145 pounds. I'm not talking trash to anyone. I just try to get on AJ's team because I know if I'm on his team, we're going to win. But my nightmare, and I'm 20 years older than him, my nightmare is having to guard him. I've had to do it a million times, and it usually doesn't work out very well for me.
I will make sure this piece of audio gets to AJ Preller. Hopefully it'll get in his head and you can take him down next time, Tim. Hey, it's a pleasure to see you. I think you're going to be part of the pregame for Padres and Astros. They play Sunday, correct? Sunday Night Baseball?
Yes. Okay. Sunday Night Baseball this week. Yeah, can't wait.
Awesome. All right, Tim, you're the best. Thank you for everything, and we'll talk to you again.
Okay, Marty. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's see.
Okay.
Oops. Oh, sorry. So that was ESPN's Tim Kurkjian. I absolutely love that guy. He's a great storyteller. I'm looking forward to getting the actual goods, though, on him playing hoops with AJ Preller. Okay, a lot to get to today. I mean, it was a really, really newsy weekend. Of course, the Padres returned from Sacramento with the news about Jake Cronenworth going to IL, which is a little bit surprising, I think, because Mike Shildt said that he had cramps. He expected him back in the lineup on Friday, along with Tatis, who did return and then homered in 2 straight games. And then we have another injury yesterday. You know, Brandon Lockridge was a great story coming out of spring training. He's filling in center field. He suffered what Mike Shildt also says is a low-grade hamstring. Brandon Lockridge was understandably bummed yesterday in postgame. So we're going to get to all of that. We're going to get to Michael King being so dominant. But I'm going to introduce for the first time my friend Jake Garegnani from local CBS 8. Jake, how are you? And thank you for joining me today.
Let's see here. I see that you're speaking to me, but I have no audio. So let me see if I can.
Okay, you have no audio. That's okay.
Audio situation out real quick.
Okay, good deal. I can hear you. You sound loud and clear. So that's a good thing. Well, let me go ahead and promote this. I didn't even promote that you coming on the show today because I have been frantic ever since that earthquake happened. I'm more disorganized than I normally am. But hopefully, Jake, when you can hear me or hear yourself, please let me know or I can keep talking.
I see.
Can you hear me yet?
Do you have my audio, Marty?
Yes, I can hear you.
That's weird that I can't hear you at all. Let me see.
Yeah, you're here. I hear you.
Up on my end.
These TV guys, man. These TV guys.
Let's see.
It's okay. It's okay. I can go ahead and I can vamp a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and you guys will hear audio today from Luis Ariz and Jose Iglesias. Like I just mentioned with Tim Kurkjian, I never envisioned that on April 13th, we'd be talking about the Padres sweeping the Colorado Rockies and the guys.
I'm not sure on my end why I don't have your audio.
Do you want to exit and try this again?
Let me try. Let's try one other thing real quick.
Okay.
These guys love TV.
Okay. These TV guys love all LOL all love. I'm not sure. Here, Jake, I'll exit. All right. Well, while we're waiting for Jake to get his audio going, I'm going to go ahead and
try and come in on the phone, Marty. I'm going to swap here.
Okay, that sounds good. All right. So that's Jake. Here we go. So I have to remove him here. Okay. Let's see. Where is he? This is fun, isn't it? Technology.
Okay. All right. I got
Jake, can you hear me?
I had to switch over to the phone because I work in television, and obviously that would be way easier. So sorry about that. I tried to go the nice laptop way, but here we are.
That's okay. Jake, how are you? How have you been? I didn't see you at Petco Park yesterday. I imagine that you were probably glued to your TV or or watching the Masters or something, but how are you?
I had the double TV set up yesterday. It was fantastic. Padres on the big TV behind me, and then I had the Masters on another TV I roll out for special Sundays just like that. But yeah, doing really well. And I mean, what a Sunday that was yesterday. I had a rare day off, and it was nice to sit home and watch Rory almost blow that and do his thing. And then, of course, watch the Padres continue to rock and roll, which has been a lot of fun this year.
What did you take away from this weekend? It was a very, 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 very newsy weekend because, of course, we had the injury with Jake Cronenworth, with Jackson Merrill. They sweep. They could be losing Brandon Lockridge as well. So perhaps we'll see Connor Joe. I'm sure today when we get to Petco Park, assuming you're going to be there, there's going to be at least one addition to this Padres team.
I think so, 100%. And Connor's a great option, obviously.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I take away from this weekend is that the Rockies are a terrible baseball team. The second thing I take away from this weekend is that the Padres have better depth than I think we all thought, right? Like, I know we were worried about the depth going into this season, And it's just been another AJ Preller masterclass with these guys that have really been strong role players. And of course, you know, the Fernandos and everybody that's been great for this team, but the Gavin Sheets, the Randy Vasquezes, the guys that like really have stepped up in this time. Kyle Hart the other day. It's just been really impressive to see some of these guys that we didn't know we were going to get really step up and be key role players for this team.
Right. I know we came into this with the starting pitching being a major question mark. I mean, it's hard. You can't replace Joe Musgrove. That's something else too. And Yu Darvish, by the way, some good news on Yu Darvish, threw off a mound. I think it was yesterday. I'm sorry, my days are all confused, but you know, they're going to get him back sooner rather than later. It might be in May, but he is going to return. I think for me, the bigger question mark is going to be now is this offense, because listen, yesterday it was rather remarkable. I mean, you're talking about it's one thing for Tatis, right, to go ahead and carry the offense like he did Friday and Saturday, and of course ends the game Saturday with spectacular defense. It's another if against the Colorado Rockies that it's Jose Iglesias, who's been great filling in for Jake Cronenworth at second base, right? Two multi-hit RBI games this weekend. Gurriel drove in a run, Oscar Gonzalez, but you can't expect those guys to carry you every game or against a team like the Chicago Cubs. I mean, the Cubs are going to be a real test for them, I think, to end this homestand.
Yeah, 100% a real test. And you're right when you say you can't expect them to carry them throughout the season. And you can't. That's why you have these other big names. But the one-off game where they are the person that really helps you get over that finish line, that really helps you get that 3-0 win against the Colorado Rockies. Those are the games that this team lost a couple of years ago. Those are the games that maybe they blow because they don't have those depth guys that do step up in the times that maybe the Fernandos or the Mannies aren't there. So, yeah, it's not sustainable for them to be that guy every single game throughout the course of a year. But the times that they are that person this year have been here. I mean, how many times did they lose to the Rockies a year ago? To go
they got swept at Petco Park. Were you there for that really uncomfortable Mike Shildt press conference when he said that the Padres were not outplayed? We're like, wait, what do you mean, dude? You got swept by the Colorado Rockies. You got embarrassed by one of the worst teams in baseball. What do you mean? What do you mean you weren't outplayed? I was like, this guy's not going to last very long. That's what I thought. That's how bad it was at that time.
Exactly, and it was, and it's like that's the difference that it feels like between this year and last year. Even though that was a great team last year, one of the best teams in Padres history, it feels different this year around. And I was really worried, as I mentioned, about the depth going into the season. And granted, it's a 16-game sample size. Let's calm down. There's 162 games. But in the 16 games, to already have weathered the amount of injuries that they have and still be 13-3 on the season, I mean, a lot of other teams could have easily folded at this point, easily been 4 games under 500.
Well, they're still going to be tested. I mean, I'm not expecting, listen, you need your stars to go ahead and carry you, right? You need Machado to do what he's doing. You need Tatis to do what he's doing. I am concerned on Jackson Merrill because those hamstring injuries can be very, very tricky. They take a while. He had that injury on the other leg, I think in AA, and I believe he missed around 23 games. So that's something to go ahead and pay attention to. But I think the reason why, if you're a Padres fan, you feel better right now is because you already know what Jackson Merrill is capable. He's one of the best players in baseball when he is healthy. It's a special group. And Xander Bogaerts is also playing well. Another thing for me too is the catching situation, right? I think I forgot who it was from last week, that I thought that Kyle Higashioka would end up being the biggest loss for the Padres, right? He was Michael King's personal catcher. He was very popular. He brought some great offense to this team, but so far, Maldonado and Diaz have been quite a tandem, and it's something that Michael King alluded to yesterday about them starting to gel with the catchers.
Yeah, and you saw it with Michael bringing out Elias to come have the post-game interview with Bob after the game, right? That's when you know they're tight. And Marty, I was as concerned as you were. After opening day, it looked like Elias Diaz had never caught Michael King in his life. And I was like, oh, boy, it's going to be a long year. And then Elias really settled in. He's been doing a little bit with the stick. He's really carried the staff well. Maldonado's interesting for me. I understand the idea of veteran presence. I understand the type of guy Martin is, and he's great to have in that clubhouse. I do wonder, especially what you see with Luis doing in El Paso, how long until, maybe you make that move to bring Campusano up for a little bit more of offensive support. But it is one of those things, and I've heard people talk about this where it's like, hey, don't fix it if it ain't broke. You're 13-3, keep riding. Yeah. Yes and no, right? You don't want to fall behind the curve, though. So it's like, all right, don't fix it if it ain't broke, but also stay ahead of what's coming. So I'd be interested to see if Martin is on this team come the All-Star break, but Elias has been great, and Martin's had a moment here or there, but it just feels like you got the guy in Luis, who I know we've given shots to over and over, but I don't know. Do you give him one more? It feels like you should. I don't know.
I
your
don't know.
thoughts on that.
I think I would be, actually, I'm the complete opposite of you. I'd be surprised that if barring injury that we saw Campusano. I mean, this is a guy that wasn't even on their postseason roster last year.
Yeah.
Think about that. So I think they gave him every opportunity. Maybe something will happen, but I really think that barring injury, that this is perhaps the group you're going to go with, unless you're Preller and you want to upgrade
Right.
through a trade. But I'd be surprised if that Campusano is going to be one of those guys. A guy I am concerned about, and I think he bought himself more time because of the injury to Lockridge, is Jason Hayward. Now, he had a home run on Saturday, I believe it was, but he has not looked good offensively for the Padres this season.
No, and it's hard. You know this better than anybody. You get down, you get to know these people, and you realize the type of people they are, and you're rooting for them because you want them to be successful. And Jason's is top tier of an individual as they get, just as great as a human as they are. But the results on the field are what they are on the field, and he has looked very lost at the plate at times this year, for sure. And for a guy that's put together the career he has and has had the success he's had, it looked like maybe the game has passed him a little bit. Now, there has been those moments, that home run, the double he ripped off the wall, stuff like that. But is it sustainable for the entire season? I don't know. Do you have a better option? I don't know either. Like, is Connor Joe coming up and going to fill that role? Is he going to move around? Where do you go? Is Oscar Gonzalez the guy there? Like, I don't know if they have this, like, obvious option waiting in the wings, like if Tirso Ornelas is down there just shredding or something like that. But for now, is it like, do you give up a little bit of the offensive support for that veteran presence, for the guy that's been there, done that, or do you have to take a gamble on somebody else? I don't know if they have a better option, I guess is what I'm saying right now.
I guess we're going to find out. Jake, I want to introduce you to our audience who may not be as familiar with you. Now, you and I think I clicked with you when we were stuck at the airport bar in Mexico City because our flight was delayed by like 2 days. I think we sat there for 2 or 3 days just drinking margaritas, waiting for our flight to be shown on there. But can you just give people your background, where you came from, how long you've been here in San Diego with CBS?
First of all, that's one of my all-time favorite stories. One of my all-time favorite stories, which we can divulge a little bit later on. But yes, many margaritas deep in the Mexico City airport was an unbelievable time.
Yes.
But I was actually born in San Diego.
Okay.
Left when I was about a year old. My family moved, and I grew up in Colorado. Played college football and baseball at a really small Division II school out there called Adams State University, and then did an internship when I got done with college with CBS 8 as an unpaid intern with no hours. And I've been there ever since this is coming up on like 9 years. And
wow,
pretty much did every job possible to become an anchor. I was 1 day a week producer, and then I'd go out and shoot stuff, and every little job you could think of along the way. Because I never thought I'd be on TV. Let's be honest. So this has all been a surprising whirlwind for me, but it's been awesome, and it's been really cool to be able to work with. We have such a great media market out here, just an unbelievable group of people to work with. So I've been doing that since, and honestly loved every second of it. I got a dream job.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, it's been an interesting time for media and sports media here in San Diego. I'll go and tell you that. By the way, I actually want to bring this up before, in case some Padres fans don't know, but you guys, CBS will be carrying some of the Padres games this season, right? That's part of the deal that they signed for over-the-air telecast on Saturdays?
It's all Saturday games, home and away throughout there. I have a schedule. I can send you the exact dates, but we have 10 games throughout the season. And it's just incredibly exciting news for CBS 8 and Padre fans. These are free over-the-air games that you don't have to pay for. You don't have to have a login for. These are, old school style if you want, plug in your cable. But however you get CBS 8, whether it's streaming, anyway, these are free Padre games that we're incredibly excited to bring you. And especially, I think when you look at the big picture of where these mid-market teams are going to go with their product, obviously the Padres don't have a TV deal. The Diamondbacks and the Rockies and a couple other teams have signed some cable deals like what CBS is now for the Padres. And I think it's an exciting time, and a hope that in a world where media is getting so divided and you have to have 78 logins to watch a full season of baseball, that hopefully we're kind of narrowing in. Obviously, this is a test, I think, for the Padres to see how they do on cable, and obviously it's fantastic for CBS 8 to have this audience, the best fans in all of baseball, as I think we all know, and it's just incredibly exciting. So it's 10 games. Our first one is coming up here soon. I believe it's next Saturday or in
really?
2 Saturdays. It's one of the Saturdays, the next 2 Saturdays coming up. And then the one after that, the reason I know the exact date is the 10th of May, because I'm flying to Colorado to cover that. It's Padres Rockies in Colorado. So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, a couple of them coming up here soon, and then throughout the course of the year, which is really exciting.
So what's going to change? For when you guys have those games, do you do a special pre or post, or what's the coverage going to be like? Now it's still dominant. It's still the same TV guys, right? But what changes as far as the pre and post?
Yeah, definitely want to make that incredibly clear that it is the exact product. You're not the thing
it's
that's
not
going
you?
over there. The game, you will not have to suffer through me doing play-by-play for the Padres.
Okay.
It'll be the same crew, everybody in the pregame show and the postgame show that you love that the Padres do will still be there. We'll be able to do what's a pre-pregame show and a postgame show. So we get on before theirs, we get on after theirs. So it's just extended Padres for all those that want to hear it. And then obviously it's a stronger live presence from us. We'll be live there at the games and stuff. So yeah, it's very exciting.
That's awesome. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, good deal. Jake, let's see. Did you catch any yesterday of Michael King's post game? I know you weren't there. Were you able to go ahead and pay attention to what he had to say about the first complete game of his major league career?
I saw him bring Elias out, but I didn't. What was his exact words about his first complete game?
Oh no, I can take you. I'll take you inside the clubhouse just briefly if you don't mind.
Let's
give
do
a
it.
second for that.
I was happy that he trusted me. Hopefully that gives me a little bit more trust in the later innings and in the next couple.
When you emerged from the dugout before that ninth inning, did you hear the crowd reaction?
Yeah, I honestly heard my walkout song. That was the one that got me. Obviously, I'm used to the lights out, phones out for Suarez. I wouldn't have minded lights out there, but even though it's a freaking day game. But
second inning, how remarkable is that?
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't know that. We obviously have a ton of great starters here. Bullpen's unbelievable, and I think that you're kind of seeing us really gel with the catchers. And you have a ton of experience back there, and then we just bank on them.
Where does a complete game stand in terms of what does it tell you about yourself when you just keep progressing?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done it in the big leagues. It's definitely really cool, but obviously a win's a win. So it's a lot easier when you get out to a 4-run lead in the first inning, and then you can really kind of attack the zone and go from there. So I think the complete games happen when offense gets out early, and then now I don't have to really worry about keeping it a tight game. I can just attack the zone.
When was your last complete game?
I definitely had one in 18. Probably 18, I would say. It's my last time in the minor leagues. Yeah.
Since we're in the moment, is there a more annoying sports phrase than get in the hole?
Oh, you're saying for this? Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? I disagree. I love yelling, get in the hole. Oh, right off the club face, get in the hole. Yeah. No, we're different there. Yeah. Every time I hit the ball, I'm hoping it's going in. So I'm not yelling, but I wish I had a gallery to yell, get in the hole every time I hit a ball on a.
No, you don't, Michael.
No. Right?
That's
I had
hilarious. I can't agree with you more that it is the most irritating thing in the world that the getting the whole guy at every tournament. But yeah, I love you always ask the best questions, by the way. This is why I'm going to tell your audience. This is why when I go into the clubhouse, I just follow Marty around. She knows this for a fact. I just wait for her to ask all the good questions, and then I'll throw my token question out there. But everyone knows it. You just follow Marty around to get all the good questions. So to that point, though, before you defend yourself, even though you don't need to,
okay.
Michael's. First of all, amazing in the sense of with the media, of his approach, his mindset, everything about it, always giving credit to other people.
Yeah.
The rarity of complete games this day and age is really unbelievable. And he hit the nail on the head when he said, look, you get out to an early lead and he's just able to attack the zone, something he does really well anyways. But really, when you take those reins off and you go, hey, you got 4, you don't got to worry about it. It was something to witness. How bad are the Rockies? Really bad. How good is Michael King? Really good. It's a nice combo when you get that combination.
Yes, but I want you to know that he is wrong. I mean, I wanted to play that because when post game yesterday, right, when we go in, it's the playoff, right? And so all the players are still there. A bunch of guys were lounging on the couch, watching this game. And Michael's like, okay, we gotta hurry up. I need to be able to hear this, right? But you could hear Jim Nance in the background and you heard that loser, get in the hole. So I had to ask Michael, and he's wrong. His answer is wrong. I'm going to tell him when I go back at Petco today, just so you know, dude, your opinion is wrong. You are wrong about that. And I'm glad you agree with me.
Yeah, I would be there in your defense 100%. I guess I get what he's saying in the sense of it'd be nice to have a gallery around you when you're playing golf. But I'll tell you what, when Michael and I tee it up next time together, I'll scream, get in the hole at him, and we'll see how much he really likes.
What would be the equivalent for a pitcher? Throw a strike, I guess.
Probably.
No.
It's got to be something close to that, right? But
you play to roars. You play. It's loud all the time when you play, so it's different. Than golf.
I don't know if there is an equivalent in baseball as much, but it's the worst in golf. But give Rory credit too, man. You want to talk about guys I thought was going to collapse. I thought he was going to collapse after the first round when he went 4 over on the final 4 holes, and I go, hey, that's a wrap. Then he had a great day on Friday. And then after he missed the putt on 18 to win it, I'm like, yeah, Justin Rose has got this thing in the playoff. But hey, give Roy credit. It's awesome. I don't know about you, Marty. I love witnessing history. So it's really cool to see a guy complete a career Grand Slam, just 6 golfers in history. I was like, yeah, I'm down for that.
And he's a likable dude. Okay, we're talking to Jake. Jake, give me your last name correctly. Garegnani?
It's a tricky one. So it's Garegnani, but that's my very watered down TV version of it. When I first got in TV, they wanted me to go by my middle name, which was Jake Ryan, because it's way easier. But I said I come from a very large Italian family. They will disown me if I go not by my last name. Technically, it's Italian. It's Garegnani, but I just say Jake Garegnani because it's way more palatable. I can tell people to break it down like Gary and Annie. Garegnani. Got it. It's not the most accepted among my family, but it's closer than I can get most people.
Okay, very, very, very cool. Very cool. Well, shoot, I should mention that Jake Garegnani and this entire show is brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Jake, am I going to see you later on today at Petco Park?
I am anchoring tonight, so I'm anchoring the shows tonight. And I anchor Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll probably be down there, or one of us will definitely be down there. That is the one thing. So I am envious. There are pros and cons of my job. One thing I love so much about what you guys get to do is you get to cover the Padres all the time. We get to, but like to get to be down there every single day is awesome. I love it. Early in the year, I'm down there almost all the time, like the first week or first homestand, and it's great. And I just miss it. Then there's other obligations with TV where you kind of doing some other stuff, but it would be nice one day to just completely be 100% coverage of one team.
No, I know. Friday was a bit of an S show because we knew that there was going to be news on Tatis, who of course looks fantastic. We knew there was news on Tatis. We knew on Cronenworth. So I'm sure today should be interesting. I think today the buzz will be around who the new center fielder is, assuming there is one. There's going to be one. There's just based on what Brandon Lockridge had to say in postgame and Mike Shildt, there's absolutely no way that he is not going on IL, in my opinion. And I'm sure we're going to have a reaction to the earthquake. Like I just told Tim Kurkjian, I am rattled. I live in PB, right? And I have these large glass windows and whatnot. And place is a mess. I have my baseball plates and my memorabilia. And I get this alert on my cell phone. I'm not sure if you got the same alert, but I get an alert saying that an earthquake is coming. And I'm like, what? 5 seconds later, place starts shaking. And actually, I was texting you. The only reason I was on my phone, I was texting you about today's show. And that's why. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, what's happening? And then you get that emergency alert. So I'm sure we'll talk to some players today about the earthquake and living in San Diego.
We were so close. My wife and I live way out east. We were so close to the epicenter. That alert came in after, and it was the most intense earthquake I've been through in my time in California in the decade. Yeah. Where our whole house, we have a 2-story house. I thought the top story was coming down. It was so intense. I got 2 Great Danes. I'm like, let's go.
Oh my goodness.
So we raced outside, and it was definitely the most intense one I've been in here. Where I was like, yeah, this house is coming down. It was scary in that sense. And then I got the alert like 5-10 seconds after, and and actually as we were on this call, I was almost going to say something if you felt it. The aftershock came through. I felt some of the aftershock. Yeah, it shook much lighter than the first one, but just maybe 10 minutes ago.
Okay, I'm going to make you answer this question. It comes in from Mr. Q. Maybe you can see it. It says, Marty, today's power rankings came out and they still have the Dodgers at number 1, the Padres in the number 2 spot. In what world today, April 14th, are the Dodgers better than the Padres? I feel like this is a question that could have been posed by Daniel Jeremiah, the NFL analyst, huge Padres fan who joined me on Friday, because he said the exact same thing. He actually had me ask that question to Buster Olney, who responded, because he talked about, the defense. They have a bad defense. They don't have great depth, and the offense hasn't been good. I don't know why the Dodgers will be first in the power rankings right now. That's surprising to me. I'm not sure if this is ESPN or somewhere else, but I don't have an answer. Do you have an answer?
I've seen some power rankings where the Padres are first. What I would say, and I know it because I love it, we get paid to talk about sports, and it's what finances our bills, so I'm here for it. But those things are literally just to get people talking.
It's a list.
So
clickbait. You think it's clickbait?
It's click. I mean, it's a lot of it. A lot of it is clickbait. In a sense, here's what I would say to the person that asked that question: is you watch, probably, I'm guessing, since you're on the show and you asked that question, a lot of baseball. You do the eye test for yourself and tell me where those power rankings are right now. And I think sometimes maybe if you want like a more concrete answer, it's like maybe people are saying it's a 16-game sample size, over the course of 162, maybe this is what it's going to look like, but absolutely not. If you're going to talk about the first 16 games and rank the power rankings off the first 16 games, they are the best team in baseball. There's no arguing that. I mean, statistically, factually, standing wise, they're the best team in baseball. So I think it's mostly those rankings. You see that stuff, and it's a lot of, people love to talk and get all fired up, and I'm here for it because, like I said, it's what helps us. But I wouldn't take too much into it. Like, the Dodgers are who the Dodgers are going to be this season, and they're going to be a really good team. Make no mistake of it. But I think we've been clear the Padres are going to be a really good team again. It seems like we're on a bit of a collision course one more time.
I think the Padres answered some questions that I had about this pitching. Now, I'm not saying that Kyle Hart is expected to do this the entire time, but you also know that you're going to get Yu Darvish back at some point. So it'll be interesting. It's been fun. It's been a fun ride, man. Cubs, and they go out of town. Houston Astros, and I forgot where they go after that, but that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and you're right about this Cubs series. Very interested to see. I mean, I expect Dylan to throw really well today. He does not have 2 back-to-back starts very often that are bad. He's got the fresh look. I'm feeling he's going to come out here just clean shaven and shove for like 6 2/3 of like 5-hit baseball. That's what I'm feeling.
All right, I'm going to give you, if you have 30 seconds.
You got to be ready.
Okay, I want to find the portion from Luis Arias talking about. I asked him the question about his facial hair. So give me 1 second. Here we go.
You know who it was?
We missed Joe. He's nasty too. So we have a good starting pitcher. We have a great team. So we just need to stay together and play hard.
Dylan Cease, good look or bad look?
I mean, I don't know. So I don't like it. I like him when he got a good beard. Sometimes he got a big beard, but I don't like it. So if he pitch tomorrow, if he throw 9 innings, stay like that.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I said the facial hair is completely indicative off of how he throws. He comes out and he has a Michael King outing. Everyone's going to love the clean shaven. If he has a similar outing like he had last time, people are going to say, grow something out.
Yeah. If it's bad, he has to shave his head. So
yeah, I love the old timey mustache he rocks. I think it's his best look. I mean, he's such a cool dude, though. I love Dylan, and he's an enigma, so I'm here for it. But yeah, I think the mustache is the thing to go with. But again, I think if he goes out there and he shoves tonight, better be shaving clean every time. New York Yankee style.
I hope so. He's been hiding for us since he shaved, so I'm looking forward to hopefully talking to him in post-game. Jake, you've been awesome. Thank you so much for your time today. For those of you sticking around, I'm going to go ahead and just play you a little bit of what Mike Shildt had to say about the injuries to Jake Cronenworth and to Jackson Merrill. Oh, by the way, I should mention this too. I saw Shildt Seidler for the first time, the wife of the late Padres chairman, Peter Seidler. I got a chance to run into her on Saturday. So it was great to see Shildt and her daughter for the first time. I know that the lawsuit's ongoing right now. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. I hope it works out sooner rather than later, but I can just tell you it was great to see Shildt, and other players were happy to see her as well. So that was a cool, here, I'll show you guys a photo since you're watching. That was a real cool moment today, Saturday from Petco Park. So anyways.
And Marty, right. I know you're doing your thing, but before you let me go here, let me say one thing. Just appreciate you so much, and you're unbelievable at your job, and I hope people understand how hard you work. And I mean, for those listening, this is the hardest grinder in all of San Diego. I'm not kidding. So appreciate you endlessly and all the media members, but you rock. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Jake. I really appreciate you. Jake Garegnani.
There, you got it.
Wow.
You got it.
Man. All right. That's Jake. That's from Jake from CBS. Jake, see you later. I'll see you guys. I'll see you later. All right. He's awesome. Love talking to that guy. I don't usually like everybody in the media, but he's a good dude. All right. I'm going to go, like I promised you guys, I'm going to play you a little bit of what Mike Shildt had to say about the injuries. I think it's a big deal. We'll learn more about Brendan Lockridge later on today at Petco Park. I'm sure we'll discuss that tomorrow with AJ Caswell. Speaking of AJ Caswell, I think he's going to join around 10 o'clock tomorrow. We'll go live tomorrow at 10. If you have any questions you would like me to ask, AJ tomorrow, please, you can put them on the chat here, or you can send them to me on Twitter at Marty Caswell or Instagram at Marty Caswell 619. If you go to either account, you will find interviews from last night with Michael King, Luis Ariz, from Jose Iglesias, who looks great at second base. And here is Mike Shildt talking about all the injuries, but specifically about Jake Cronenworth and Jackson Merrill.
How about Jake Cronenworth, man? What a tough dude. Trivia question: how many guys have hit a homer with a, fractured rib? Jake Cronenworth. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Shows how tough our guys are, how tough Croney is. As far as timelines go, it's unfair to put one on it. Medical will take the lead on it, but Jake will have a say in it as well. Fortunately, it wasn't displaced, so it's a matter of getting some of the fluid and some of the healing to take place. And then it's a matter of his functionality, and then hopefully it doesn't take too long, and then it's unlike a pitcher where he has to get ramped up as much. We can get some at-bats and get him back on the field.
And then with Jackson Merrill, is there anything you can share with us on how he's feeling?
Making strides. It's with hamstrings, we're going to take it slow. They can still produce some things there that he's still in the recovery process, which means rest. So it's not day to day, but he is healing. Every day it's a little better.
Bad news is Jake's down. I guess the good news is Wade, he's back. What's you guy like that mean? Join this ball club again?
Yeah, the one thing is guys will step up. It's going to create more opportunities for Iglesias. He'll be in there tonight. And then you mentioned Wadey being back. This is a guy with us last year. It helped us win 93 games in a lot of different ways. So familiar with Tyler. Play a lot of different places, including center field. Play all over. Very versatile off the bench. So it's we'd rather not have the circumstances, but we're super glad to have Wadey back on the club.
Is that kind of what we can expect? Iglesias in the Cronenworth spot and Wade kind of into what Iglesias was doing?
I think there's some combination of that. If he's going to play today, and then he's going to get a good opportunity, but Wadey will get his opportunity as well when it makes sense.
No, you don't like giving timetables, but a hamstring injury from Merrill, could that be something that could be rather lengthy rather than a normal 10-day extent?
I think anytime you look at hamstrings, you're looking at at least 10 days. So again, it's not fair to put it because guys heal differently. The good news is they don't think it's not a high grade strain, but it's clearly there, and so it's really going to matter how soon he gets to the point where he can start to jog and run again, how quickly he gets back to play. So it's hard to say.
With a guy like that who obviously loves to play and wants to play, do you have to have conversations with him like, listen, we want you back, but don't push yourself too much, be completely honest with how you're feeling?
Yeah, very fair question. I don't feel the pull to have that conversation with Jackson necessarily, because Jackson, to your point, does love to play. It's one of the things that really is a trait of our team and our players. Same with the Croney. The Croney played with a broken rib. Toddy played last year with a broken leg. Luis had a torn ligament in his thumb and won a batting title. So it is part of our DNA, the toughness, which is a very great trait of a club, but also specific to Jackson, including some of these other guys. Yeah, they're also smart in what they cannot do, and Jackson's aware of what he is, and he's really channeling his energy into his recovery. He's been very intentional about his recovery, as we'd expect. So it's as much about getting healthy as it is about getting back on to get back on the field.
Can you tell us about your new pitcher that looks kind of like Dylan Cease?
There's a guy that came in the clubhouse today that still has phenomenal hair. I mean, I mean, his hair's as good as his fastball and his slider metrics. Dylan Cease's hair. I mean, like 70-plus hair. But he shaved the beard, and it was like a little double take, like, who is a stranger in our clubhouse? But the hair gave it away, and the unbelievably witty personality.
Okay, so that was where'd I go? That is Mike Shildt talking about Dylan Cease, who pitches tonight. All right, guys, thank you so much for all your kind comments, even the ones from you, Pinocchio, about how terrible the production is. I am sorry. I am still working on it. I'm a work in progress. It's been a lot. It's a little bit nerve-wracking to sit here and talk to myself, which is why I'm so happy to bring in great guests like Tim Kurkjian, who is awesome to start the show. Jake Garegnani from CBS 8. And as he mentioned, Padres fans, great news. You have free games on CBS on Saturdays. I think he mentioned a week from Saturday will be the very first one, and he will be out there in Colorado for that. So that's really good news. We will hopefully have an update on Brandon Lockridge. Don't forget, if you have a question for AJ Caswell for tomorrow, please let me know, and I will ask him. Let's see, from PA, my 7-year-old grandson looks forward to postgame and counts off when Shildt opens, then sips his water, and when he takes off his hat to swipe his hair back. Yes, and that's when they're winning. That's when they're winning. When things were bad, man, those postgame shows, those postgame press conferences were actually can't miss. They got a little bit strange. He would get a little bit testy. It's been different this year. All right, from Mr. Q, let's get some comments in here. I think the season is going to come down to how Mike handles the team's losing streaks. Well, they had them last year. And the one thing the Padres have done that's different from past seasons, and especially last season, is they built up a little bit of a cushion, right? Last year they got off to a slow start. I think it was Jay Posner who pointed out when they won their 8th game, they didn't win that to like May, their 8th home game to like May last year. It's April 14th, and they have the best record in baseball, 10 wins at home. So they have a little bit of cushion, and because every team is going to go through injuries. Every single team is going to go through losing streaks. The Padres right now are getting tested very early in adversity with injuries, not just a couple players here or there, but to their stars, to Jackson Merrill, to, of course, to Yu Darvish, to Jake Cronenworth, and they're finding ways to win. Will it continue forever? No, which is why, to me, they have to figure out what they're going to do with Gurriel, with Hayward, who the long-term guys are going to be. But so far, so good. They've had a lot of adversity, and they're handling it well. All right, guys. A longer show than I expected today. It's today's not Thursday. Today's Monday. Hope you guys are all safe from your earthquake. I hope the pets are okay and that nothing broke in your apartment. I need to go ahead and check my place. It's been interesting today. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining, and thank you to Hamul for being a wonderful sponsor of the show. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. I will see you all tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and I'll be joined by AJ Caswell. Thanks again, and have a great day.